Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Ruf'n It. Today we're hanging out at the bunkhouse, and we're going to talk a little bit about home prepping. We had one of our fellow Facebookers on our page, Tiny Cocatera. She actually asked the question, what are some good things that we need to have for basic preparations? And this is kind of some of the stuff I'm going to show you. This is just a few things that I have in my stockpile. I drug just a few of them out. Didn't want to drag them all out because I didn't have a big enough room or a wide enough angle lens to show you guys everything. So, start off, first thing you guys definitely need is water. Now, you really want to plan for 5 to 7 days without power. Any natural disaster, you're not going to be able to get around. You want to be able to bug in, so they say. So you want to have 3 gallons of water roughly per person per day. So we have 3 of us in our house, so that's 9 gallons of water a day. That's a lot. So what I like to do is every now and then when I go to the store, I'll pick up 1 or 2 gallons of water. This stuff's cheap. You can pick it up for less than $1 a gallon. And before you know it, you'll have a pretty good stockpile. As far as natural disasters, there's a couple other options if you do run out of this water. One thing you would want to do if there was let's say an earthquake or a hurricane or whatever part of the country you guys are in, fill the bathtub up with water. Okay, it may not be necessarily the cleanest, but it's something. Another good thing you can use, and it sounds disgusting, but you could actually use the water out of the back side of the toilet. It's perfectly clean. I mean, unless you use those green tablets, those chlorine tablets, obviously you wouldn't want to use it then. So there are other ways of getting water, but that is the most important thing you guys can get is water. As far as food goes, canned food, this stuff will last, not forever, but a long time. This stuff here actually has a shelf life of, a little over a year. So get you a stockpile of this, rotate the stock, if you're actually going to eat it, rotate your stock in and out. And this stuff's cheap too. I mean, you can buy a big can of this stuff for, $1 or $2. Another good thing you want to have as far as canned goods is canned fruit. It's high in vitamins, good source of protein, fiber, all the stuff you guys might need. If you guys want to try to get maybe 1,000 to 1,500 calories per person per day, another thing I like to stock is stuff like this, oats. Very, very filling, very high in fiber. If you've got the extra water, obviously it doesn't take much to cook this stuff. You can cook it over a campfire if you guys are without gas or electricity. So super easy to make. Another thing I have that I don't have out right now is like Bisquick. You can do a lot of stuff with Bisquick. You can make crackers, you can make bread. You can use it as fillers in your food, and it fills you up. And it's a good source of fiber and stuff like that. Another thing I like to do is rice. This stuff will last forever. Now, as you can see, what I did here is I like to save my 2-liter bottles. Okay. I also like to save these big juice bottles. These things are great. They got a big mouth on them. So you can, it's easy to get the stuff in there. But the rice is, you can do so much with this, and there again, all it takes is water to cook. You can add other stuff to it if you like. One other thing that'll pretty much last forever is noodles, pasta. So I have, about 1 pound in this jug here of small macaroni noodles. There again, all you gotta do is just add water. You can eat it plain, very filling. Now, one of the tips that I put on Facebook was about dehydrated vegetables. And that's something I'm really into. It's super easy to do. It's extremely cheap to do. You can do it yourself. It takes a little time. But as you can see in this bottle here, this is a decent sized juice bottle. Guys, I have 6 pounds. 6 pounds of corn in here. You can see that bottle's not even half full. I add a little bit of water to this, rehydrate it, and man, you're good to go. I'll explain how to do this in another episode, because like I said, it's real easy to do, and I highly recommend this. You can do this with pretty much any vegetable. You can do it with fruits too. I haven't tried that yet. You can do this with peas, any type of beans, which they already have, dried beans, which is another good thing to have. You go to the store and get some of the dried, pinto beans or whatever that are in a bag. Put them in one of these. These jugs will keep it dry. They'll keep it safe. They'll keep bugs out of it, and mice can't get to it. So it's a good way to go here. Getting off the food topic, one thing you definitely want to have is a good first aid kit. You guys never know what you're preparing for. You always want to prepare for the worst. And I'm a firm believer in the saying, if you can prepare for a zombie apocalypse, you're prepared for anything. And that's very true. You want to prepare for natural disasters, biochemical warfare, anything, fire, And you guys want to definitely use drills, when you're practicing with your family, so that way they know if something goes wrong, what to do. Make sure, try to get the family involved in doing some of your prepping, your food prepping, so that way you know what they have, what you have, they know what you have, and you know how to prepare it, like this corn. Just add water to it, boil it, whatever. Talking about other resources and other things that you might want to get just to have around the house. Flashlights. These are the little dollar ones that you can get at dollar store, anywhere. They're cheap. They take just a couple little AAA batteries. Definitely want to try to get a wind-up flashlight. Those are definitely nice to have. You can use, I think you can pick them up for about $20, $30 at any of the local stores. Wind-up radios, that's definitely something that you want to have, be able to keep in contact with, say the outside world in the event of a natural disaster or anything like that. You don't want to have to rely on power, and like I said, the battery ones are great, but these batteries are going to wear out. They're going to die. You only have so many batteries in your house, and you don't have power. So how are you gonna see your way around? I like the headlamp styles too. Those are really nice to have. Frees up your hands. I have a couple of those as well. All right, let's talk about technology for a minute. Obviously, one thing, if there's a power outage or a natural disaster, you're going to lose power. You're going to lose your computer access, your internet access. So you would think that phones would be pretty much useless. Not necessarily. I know we all rely on these days, and it's not such a great thing, and I hate that we all do rely on these, but even I'm guilty of it. One thing you would want to have is a solar powered charger for these. These things are really handy. Okay, for one, there's a lot of good apps if you have a smartphone. There's a lot of good apps out there that can help you in a survival situation. I know the CDC has a very good an app. I know Red Cross, they've actually got a really good app that shows first aid, stuff like that. There are some other apps that, as far as for hunting and fishing and stuff like that, that might help you on your way. So don't think that if you're without power, you're without cell phone service, that your phone's worthless. You can actually, use the battery also for fire starting. You can use steel wool with the battery and start a fire. So there's plenty of ways that these things are useful. Okay, the next topic of discussion on home prepping is alcohol. And yeah, no, it looks really good. I'd really love to take a swig of this right now, but probably wouldn't help the matters any. So anyway, one of the best uses for this alcohol is, disinfectant. I mean, this is a great disinfectant here. If you get cuts, you get scrapes, whatever, you should have rubbing alcohol in your first aid kit, but that may not always be the case. There again, things are going to run out. You're going to run out of stuff, so you got to look at other avenues. Try to find other stuff that you can use for certain things. So disinfectant, not to mention this is a great fire starter. If you guys ever had to start a quick fire, that's another episode. I'm going to show you guys some of the fire starter techniques. But this has many uses, not just getting drunk. Okay, so just a few other things that you might want to have handy. Number one, have a small set of tools. Okay, hammer, nails, wrenches, stuff like that. For some reason you might have to board up a window or whatever. There's all kinds of uses you can have for that stuff. Candles, very important to have candles. Everybody's been through a power outage. Everybody knows first thing you do when the power goes out, you grab those candles and light them. Okay, very good. You can also, in small quantities, you can actually boil water over them or use them to cook. So want to have a good knife handy. I carry this with me all day long. This is my Leatherman, multiple tools on it. If I have to go out and cut some kindling to start a fire, this is most likely what I'm going to use. It's very small wood, obviously. Firearms, I know not everybody's into them. It's good to have them handy, even if it's just a little 22. Not only will a 22 be a pretty good defensive weapon, but you can also use it for hunting. Everybody's got squirrels, rabbits, and birds in their yards. If it came down to it, that's dinner. Make sure you have some books laying around maybe. You want to try to keep yourself occupied in a situation. Try to keep calm, keep your mind off of stuff. If you have kids, maybe have some board games for them to play, something to keep them occupied, because they're the first ones that are going to freak out when something happens. Okay, this pretty much sums up this episode. There's always more stuff that you can add to it. Everybody's needs are different. Everybody's location is different. The stuff that they have in their area is going to be different. If you live in a desert, if you live in Alaska, your needs are going to be different. So this is just my own personal opinion. That's a great thing about prepping. Everybody has their own way of doing it. There's no wrong way or right way, basically, to do it. Well, I really hope you guys got a lot out of this episode, and I want to thank you guys for watching. And I want to challenge each and every one of you guys out there. Walk around the house, see what you have. Kind of take a mental note of all the stuff that you have and how you could use that. And try to send me some ideas that you guys have. If you guys find stuff that has multiple uses, send that to me. I'm always up for options. And I want to thank all you guys for supporting me on this project. This has been a great project so far. I'm fairly new to this project, and I want to thank all the supporters on Facebook and YouTube, and all my podcast buddies out there. You guys have kind of been my inspiration to start this whole project. And you guys hit me up on Facebook. All the information will be at the end of this video. And don't forget to hit that like button below the video and subscribe. Thanks, guys.